You have no right to be here." That's what she screamed at me, her voice echoing through the community center like a thunderclap, before she snatched up her phone and dialed 911. This HOA nightmare, Victoria Hargrove, was dead certain she'd finally crushed me. Calling the cops because I wouldn't budge from the Willow Creek Estate's office seat was her crowning act of dominance. She saw me as just another pest she'd squash under her heel. But she had no clue who I truly was, or why that 911 call would unravel her entire world. When those officers burst in, the reversal was so shocking it left jaws on the floor. Drop a comment on where you're tuning in from, because this twist will shatter your expectations. Let me take you back. When I bought my place in Willow Creek Estates last autumn, I figured I'd snagged a piece of heaven. Serene riverside vibes, quiet streets, the perfect escape from urban madness where I could actually breathe and focus. I'm Ethan Hayes, 38, founder of Hayes Innovations. We build cutting-edge dispatch software for emergency services across the country, streamlining how cops, firefighters, and paramedics handle real crises. After grinding in stuffy city high-rises and soul-crushing traffic, turning my new home's spare room into HQ sounded ideal. The HOA rules I'd poured over said home offices were fine with a quick heads-up, as long as no clients traipse through. Easy peasy, right? Hell no. Enter Victoria Hargrove. You'll etch her name into your memory after this. At 65, she'd ruled the HOA with an iron grip for a decade, a retired high school vice principal who'd funneled all her authoritarian zeal into micromanaging our little enclave. She treated the neighborhood like her fiefdom, every resident a potential delinquent in need of her guidance. Picture her patrolling with a notepad, nitpicking lawn lengths and snapping pics of the tiniest flaws. Folks muttered about her in hushed tones, the estate enforcer, or Queen Vic, but no one dared challenge her tyranny. Barely a week in, I'm on my deck with coffee, savoring the crisp river breeze and mapping my workday. Birds singing, water lapping, pure bliss after years engineering high-stakes systems for major metros. Then comes the stomp across my yard. Not a stroll, a full-on charge. Up storms this woman, fury in every stride. No hello, no welcome wagon, just venom. That red oak clashes with our visual harmony code. She barks, jabbing at my ancient tree like it's a felony. Your door trims 2 tones off spec, 52A. I'm in sweats, mug paused mid-sip, wondering if it's a bad joke. But she whips out her phone, clicking away at me like I'm Exhibit A in a scandal. I'm logging this blatant disregard for standards, she yells, loud enough to summon the dead. Neighbors peek from blinds, curtains fluttering like ghosts. The shame burned deep, a gut punch I hadn't seen coming. Me, a guy who'd closed multi-million deals and built tech-saving lives, reduced to a spectacle in my own yard. My cheeks flamed as whispers spread. This wasn't a spat. It was war declared on my dignity. The mental toll? Crushing. I'd navigated boardrooms and crises where stakes were lives and fortunes, but facing this ego-fueled despot, it tested me like nothing else. As she strutted off, ranting into her phone about infractions, I vowed, no retreat. If Victoria wanted battle, she'd get one from someone she vastly underestimated. Soon after, she summoned an urgent HOA assembly to tackle breaches, code for dragging me through the mud publicly. The hall buzzed with tension, like a courtroom before a verdict. Victoria had slides ready, blown-up shots of my crimes, preaching about upholding values like she was saving civilization. But then Mrs. Ellis, a veteran board member who'd watched Victoria's antics silently for years, dropped a bomb. Victoria, isn't this overkill right before elections? Trying to flex power. The air froze. Gasps rippled. Suddenly, it clicked. This wasn't about rules. It was raw politics, a preemptive strike to cement her throne before challengers emerged. The next morning shattered any hope of de-escalation. My door was a violation, storm neon pink notices slapped everywhere. Excessive twig buildup at 9:32 a.m., breaching upkeep norms. Bird chirp disturbances during quiet periods. I don't even have birds. Curtain shade mismatch, code 52B. Vehicle tilt 1.8 degrees from approved parking access. Fines. $4,100 for pure fiction. This wasn't annoyance. It was a calculated siege to break me with red tape. She cut my yard care, halted trash service, pending compliance. Twisted Genius blocked neighbors remodel permits, citing zone inquiry in Block 4. Now, folks eyeing kitchen upgrades or patio fixes suffered because of me, breeding resentment. Evening strolls brought glares, murmurs of that agitator ruining everything. Her mind games were masterful, evil isolating me by poisoning the well. Then, a note slid under my door that night. Heart racing, I unfolded it. Can't oppose her openly, she ruined my life over a shed row. But I have files you need. Meet at the Willow Creek Center after 9 p.m. Emily, HOA assistant. Finally, an insider cracking the facade. Our clandestine chat exposed horrors, doctored minutes, flipping board votes, ledger gaps between reports and banks, a trail of ruined lives. Families hounded out via bogus fees, folks bankrupted by invented penalties, all for questioning her. Emily had stashed backups, sensing rot. This wasn't mere bullying. It was theft, embezzlement cloaked in control. Victoria kept escalating, phoning cops over my faint classical tunes during work hours. Officers showed, exasperated. Officer Ramirez muttered to his partner, "Fifth bogus call this quarter from her. We might flag it as harassment." They checked, found zilch, left with sorry shrugs. That sealed it. I'd let her self-destruct. I documented obsessively audio, video, cams everywhere, crafting an ironclad dossier of her madness. The trap snapped shut one chilly October dawn. Another notice. Illicit entry to center on September 28th, 3:45 p.m. Total lie. But residents could access during hours, per rules. I booked a formal slot via Emily to contest. Mail confirm in hand. At 3 p.m. sharp, I enter. Victoria's there, phone filming, primed for drama. "Leave no Yuri intruding," she shrills, voice amped for effect. I flash the confirmation. Scheduled per code 14.2. Her fury erupts. Revoked. No slots without my nod. On tape, admitting she bends rules at whim. She live streams to the group chat. Crowd swells outside. Filming, labeling me, tech mogul bullying senior volunteer. Comments flood. "Bully. Call cops." Pressure mounts. I text to contact. "Heads up, sticky spot at center might need backup." Sirens wail. Ramirez arrives. Victoria sobs theatrically. "He barged in, threatened me." Her crony Susan bursts in. "He's vengeful over fines." Then lawyer Robert Kane. Filing stalking charges, illegal cams in shared zones. Narrative flips. Neighbors scowl. One snaps. Creepy spy. Doubt creeps, even Ramirez wavers. But I counter. "Officers, footage here. Videos show her staging. Fake call audio. Dossier of absurd fines. Bird noise sans birds. Plus Emily's ledgers revealing theft. Detective Thompson spots ledger fraud. $12,000 for phantom repairs, no receipts. Emily steps up with originals. Fake firms, skimmed dues. Victoria's world crumbles. $52,000 siphoned via ghost vendors. Sold gear. Pocketed assessments for vapor projects. Panic sets in. She accuses fakes. He's tech-savvy, doctored it all. But proofs stack. Her handwriting on shady directives. Failed evidence hides caught on cam. Arrest follows. DA Amanda Clark charges embezzlement. False reports. Media frenzy hits. HOA Queen's secret empire of theft. Trials a spectacle, victims testify, heartbreak. Laura Ramirez. She faked defects. Forced our Salami kid, lost his world. Victoria deflects. Mistakes in service. No remorse. Judge Eleanor Brooks slams. Calculated betrayal. Sentence. Repay all. Fines. 500 service hours at the center, educating on transparency, banned from leadership forever. Neighborhood blooms post-fall. David Thompson elected prez, vows openness. We revamp bylaws, add portals for real-time finances, forum sans fear. My firm upgrades 911 filters against abusers. Months on, I spot Victoria in her vest, dishing flyers on rights. Neighbors pass with disdain. A kid asks his mom, why is she teaching kindness? Bad choices, Swedish, fixing her mess. Looking back, facing her wasn't easy, but silence lets tyrants thrive. Justice demands, voices rise. What do you think? Should HOA presidents have unchecked power, or is it time to dismantle these mini dictatorships? Was her punishment fair, or too lenient for destroying lives? Drop your hot takes below, smash that like if it fired you up, and subscribe for more real-life reckonings that hit hard.